It hurt for a long time.
What the hell?
He would mention it wherever he went to play basketball, whether at LSU, Orlando, or Los Angeles.
He did?
Maybe you'd think that they, I don't know, stole from him before or something.
All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope you all are having a good night. I hope you guys had a good day. I did not get requested this one for a change. Actually, I found this one on my own, and I was curious what the actual subject was going to be about. It's a video called "The Moment a 17-Year-Old Shaq Regrets Forever," and it's from a channel called Handles Up. Yeah, I don't know what this is going to be referring to, because 17 years old, that would put Shaq back in high school. And I got to admit, I didn't start following Shaq until college when he was at LSU. So I have no idea what this is referring to. And I'm excited to see what it is, because I've never heard him refer to this. And I know how Shaq is, and whenever he has regrets or bitterness or anything like that towards something, he talks about it over and over again. So I'm wondering what this is. But let's not do a long intro, since I have no idea what this is referring to. I'm going to leave the original video link down below in the description box if you guys want to check it out. And everybody else, please leave this video a like. Hope you guys are having a good night, and I hope this continues to make a good night. Holiday season. Holiday times, it's crazy. I'm going to do my best during the next month or two to continue pumping out at least 1 to 2 videos a day. Forgive me if I miss a day or something like that, because you know how it gets during the holidays. But I'm going to do my damn best. No excuses. Anyways, let's do it.
The NBA's Superman, Dwight Shaquille O'Neal.
What should I call on a contract? You can't give out my name. But I'm trying. If a guy walks in,
Shaquille O'Neal was one of the most dominant basketball players we have ever seen.
Yep.
I mean, how could you really stop a 300-pound monster when he gets near the paint? Yeah, this is most likely going to happen to you.
Now, Bob, what's the power? He just overpowers him.
Yep.
And he comes down.
Look at the shove.
He shoves him right there.
Look at the shove.
They call the technical on Shaq on that.
It wouldn't be a pretty sight.
So disrespectful.
But Shaq, even today, regrets something that happened back in 1988 when he was just a high school junior. He even still curses those people today.
All right.
One day after signing with the Lakers, 3 men approached Shaq looking for an autograph. And before they even got to him, Shaq was already whispering curses. The men, all nearly a foot shorter than Shaq and several $1 million later,
I have the highest purchase in Walmart history. The CEO will confirm that.
went over to shake his hand. Shaq cursed him again, but even as he did, he still smiled. He couldn't really hold it against them. What these 3 guys did to him 9 years ago, it hurt for a long time.
What the hell?
He would mention it wherever he went to play basketball, whether at LSU, Orlando, or Los Angeles.
He did?
Maybe you'd think that they, I don't know, stole from him before or something. But before all the movies, before the rap videos, the commercials, the endorsements.
Hey, real quick, have you guys seen Blue Chips? Because if you did, and if you saw it in the theater back in the day, then we all got a taste of the Shaq and Penny duo before it was ever a Shaq and Penny duo. And I love that movie.
And even before Shaq Fu, he lost a high school basketball game.
Sorry, I was talking. So he lost
in his entire high school career. Shaq only ever lost 1 game.
Oh.
And it was an important one. It wasn't just any old game. It was the regional final.
Look at this guy.
You win here, you go on to the state tournament, and go on to have a chance to play for the state championship.
By the way, this is not related to the video, but I just had to point this out. I get so much crap when I say Orlando Shaq was better. Everyone jumps in and gangs up on me and like, oh, LA. There's a reason for it. Shaq was still the most dominant, powerful dude out there, but he had ball handles, all right? LA Shaq could not handle the ball anymore because he stopped practicing it. He just bulked up and got bigger. Look at him when he was young.
One game.
Hold on.
And it was an important one.
Look at his handles.
It wasn't just any old game.
Look at this guy.
It was the regional final.
Boom, jump shot.
You win here, you go on to the...
Imagine if he continued down this path. I don't know, man. I think he could have been the greatest of all time. I've always believed it. If he kept like honing in on his craft, he could have been the greatest of all time. Instead, he became the most dominant player I've ever seen, physical dominance wise.
The state tournament and go on to have a chance to play for the state championship. You lose, and well, you go home and you be mad about it for the next 40 years, which is exactly what Shaq did. But hey, who wouldn't be mad about it? Especially with what they did.
Okay.
Mr. Sensitive. No, ain't no Mr. Sensitive. Do it again. I'm telling you right now. Mr. Sensitive. No, I ain't sensitive. I'm going to knock your ass out. I'm telling you right now. You play him if you want to. It's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, not 1, 2, back to 1. It's a dumbass.
I'm sure you can all imagine what Shaq in high school would have been like. An absolute monster, toying with his opponents all day long. Averaging like 30 points, 20 rebounds, and like 5 blocks a game. Well, you'd basically be right. There was absolutely nobody that could stop him, and that would make sense. Like, look at his teammates. Tell me, in this photo, where do you think Shaq is? I think it's this guy on the left here.
Oh, for sure.
Right? This was the competition he would normally go up
monster.
against. It was said that Shaq never really fought for position for rebounds.
That Bill Walton?
He simply just reached over his opponents and just swiped it away. They had a perfect record, but that one team Shaq just couldn't beat. The 1988 Liberty Hall Panthers. None of them were anything special, not even athletically. They were just regular guys.
That dude looks like Stan Van Gundy. I know it's not him, but it looks like a younger Stan.
That Shaq just couldn't understand why or
These guys
how
beat him?
They beat him. Their biggest player was only 6'3", while Shaq stood 6'10", 240 pounds at the time. The Panthers heard about the 6'10" kid who was averaging 10 blocks a game.
Okay, prediction time. How did this group beat Shaq in high school? I'm going with free throws. Hack-a-Shaq. It's the only way anybody ever beat Shaq. So I'm just going to go with that. Put your predictions down below. Let's see who's right about this.
And knew it was only a matter of time before they had to face him. But they didn't care. They would just shrug at the thought. An old fellow came along.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you.
And told the Liberty team that he'd kill you guys. There was pretty much no reason for them to be cocky. Nobody on the team had great athleticism. None of them were highly scouted. None of them were even that tall compared to Shaq. But they were good.
Okay.
And could shoot. They were among the best shooting teams in high school and never not once shot under 75% from the free throw line as a team for the entire late 80s.
That's good.
And well, you know, Shaq didn't really give a thought about free throws.
Yeah, that's why I'm
going
thinking.
to miss a lot about the game. I'm going to miss the competition, the camaraderie, the friendship, the fans, joking with the media, and I'm really going to miss the free throws.
Right.
But the Panthers went into the 1988 season ranked second and won games by an average of 52 points. One team they beat so bad, the coach refused to let their team even go out in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
Like, that's just sad. Like, I know the players for sure were embarrassed of that. Their goal in games was to shoot 60% from the field and 80% from the free throw line. More often than not, they were very close to that goal. They weren't just a run and gun style team. As Smets, one of the players on that Liberty Hall team, put it, they just made a ton of shots. All 5 of their starters averaged double figures and nobody really stood out. It was essentially the, perfect role team. It was finally playoff time and they had defeated a team with a 6'9" center who did go on to play for Washington State. So none of the players or coaches really even believed that Shaq could be all that much better. Well, apparently plenty better, as the coaches and players saw Shaq firsthand play later that day. None of them really believed it. They thought it was crazy. They said it was a man amongst boys.
Yeah, I mean, even in college when I first saw him, I felt the exact same way. I was like, what is this guy? How is this I have to admit, my first question was, how old is this dude? Because I thought he had to be like 25 years old, you know, playing with a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds. But nope, Shaq was just a monster.
But it was time. Both teams advanced through the playoffs and made it to the regional finals. It was finally time for them to play each other. Now it's win or go home. You win here,
Look at him, man.
You go to the state tournament. You lose here, you go home. They had a plan though. They knew Shaq didn't really fight for position and just reached over the players' backs. So if they boxed him out well enough, they could foul him out. The strategy proved itself. Shaq picked up back-to-back fouls early in the first, then another back-to-back fouls before the quarter ended.
So it's the opposite of what I thought. I thought they were going to be hacking him. They forced him to hack them. So they must have just went right at him every single play and dared him to block him. Damn.
Knowing Shaq and about how hot he gets,
Yeah.
you can only imagine what he was like, with 4 fouls and only 1 from fouling out in the regional final.
No, I've seen this in the NBA, and Shaq will blame the refs if this happens, because this is a solid strategy, just to attack Shaq like that. If you get blocked a couple times, you get blocked a couple times, but you can get him into foul trouble within 6 minutes if you do this.
Probably said something along these lines to the referee.
David Stern wonder why the league is losing money. That's why. People pay good money to come watch these athletes play, and they try to take over the fucking game.
Shaq, we're on live. I know.
I don't give a
Shaq
shit.
was forced.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Stuff like that. That's what Shaq would say. He's angry, so he's going to blame David Stern and, the refs and all that. But really, it's because he fell for the bait.
Forced to sit out the rest of the half and didn't even start the second half. Finally, when Shaq got back into the game, he instantly scored 8 points for his team, but was useless on defense now.
Yeah.
He was forced to play very softly as he was afraid to foul out. Shaq did play the rest of the game without fouling out, but it was a little too late and his mood wasn't great. He looked as if he was just robbed. In the end, he only scored 9 points, and the Liberty Hall Panthers beat the San Antonio Coal 79-74.
Oh, just to make it bitter, too. They only won by 5. So, dude, if Shaq would have stayed out of foul trouble for an extra, maybe minute or 2 minutes, they could have won that game still. Wow.
And they ended up moving on to the state tournament, leaving Shaq behind. Moving on from that game was hard for Shaq, as for years he said officials robbed him in the game.
There it is. There, I told you. That's Shaq. He
vowed revenge the very next season, and he got it. In a playoff game against Liberty Hill, Shaq led San Antonio with 40 points, 29 rebounds.
Oh my God. That's revenge. 40 points, 29 rebounds, and 11 block shots. All right, Wilt Chamberlain. All right.
And 11 block shots on the way to an undefeated season and state championship. Unfortunately, none of the players that were on the team the previous year were there for that beatdown. After that game, Shaq actually threw the ball into the stands. So I guess Shaq couldn't really move on if those same players were not there. But after so many years, Shaq still hasn't forgotten that game. After the Lakers beat San Antonio, a San Antonio reporter asked him if the loss to Liberty Hill bothered him as much as he has indicated. He didn't answer for maybe about 5 seconds, and then replied, "Back then, yeah. But what bothered me was the 4 fouls. I never got into the game." But he did say that Liberty Hill did a great job, and that they shot the ball well, and that some of those players had like Larry Bird range. But man, that one game still haunts Shaq to this day. He not once ever lost a game in high school except that one time. Maybe his team would have won another state championship that year. Who knows? I personally would be pretty mad too if the other team had to try and foul me out to win. But hey, that's basketball.
It is. It's strategy.
It's part of the game. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know in the comments about what you think or what I should make a video next on. Later, y'all.
Hey, that was a fun video. I never heard anything about that story. I swear I've seen 1,000 Shaq interviews, even his podcast. I've never heard him talk about this. Maybe I've somehow just blocked this out of my memory or something. Let me know, you guys. Have you heard about this story? Did you know about it? Am I the only one? Even though I saw Shaq's whole career from LSU all the way to the end, and I'm still watching him on TNT, and I'm watching his podcast and stuff. Like, how did I miss this if he's talked about it so many times? But I think this was a good lesson for Shaq if he took it as a lesson. But if he was just blaming the refs, then I'm not sure if he learned a lesson, which is like, yeah, you can technically block anybody anytime you want, but they also know that, you know, the opposition knows you can do it whenever you want, so you're gonna try to do it, because why wouldn't you? At that point, a couple of pump fakes, lean-ins, you know, or just take it straight to you and dare you to put the body into them, they'll get you in foul trouble real fast. So I think it happening so early on in high school, that should have taught him a good lesson for the rest of his career. Like, don't go out there trying to block every damn shot. But who knows? Because he did get into foul trouble constantly throughout his career. And yeah, I know Shaq got hacked like no other. He got hit all the time, and a lot of his fouls came in retaliation because he was frustrated by getting beat up all the time. And I don't blame him, but you know, it's kind of like it was Shaq's attitude. And then he'd get more mad because he'd be on the bench sitting down while he's in foul trouble. And it would just kind of propel from there. A lot of times, though, he'd be able to like hone that anger. Like, it's like Darkseid, you know? Darkseid said stuff. And he'd be able to hone that anger in by the fourth quarter and just annihilate the opposition. But sometimes it would just lead him to sitting on the bench for half the game because he was always in foul trouble. Anyways, everybody, let me know what you guys thought about this one. Last little tidbit is, so that ESPN thing is legit. Inside the NBA crew is going to ESPN. Apparently, the crew knows nothing more than what we know. So we know what's going to happen. We don't know any of the details surrounding it. And I read an article today about Charles Barkley being kind of pissed off that the TNT, you know, higher ups, no one's ever talked to them about the fact that they're moving to ESPN. And he even one-upped it and said they never even told us that we're not getting the contract next year. So like TNT is losing basketball next year. Like it's all happening in the media, which I thought was really weird, you know, considering how long Inside the NBA has been part of TNT, for them to treat it like that. Really weird. So let me know what your thoughts are about that too. TNT, Inside the NBA going to ESPN. I've got my concerns because it's Disney, and we know how things go in ESPN, and they have their agendas, and they expect everyone to fall in line. Pat McAfee is the only one who's kind of broken the mold, but he's had to deal with a lot of hell to maintain his like honesty, yet still have his podcast be played on ESPN. And he's revealed some stuff, which is good. But I'm concerned about that because that's what I love about Inside the NBA. You know, excuse me. Yeah, I'll just say what the hell they want to say. And that's what makes it so special, especially Charles Barkley. All right, everyone, I'm out of here. Let me know what you guys thought about the video. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are about Inside the NBA. And have a wonderful rest of your night. I'll see you guys very soon. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And I'll see you all in the comment section. And have a wonderful, peaceful night. Be good to your people. It's holiday season. Love your loved ones. You live far from one of them and can't see them. Shoot a text. Let them know you're thinking about them. And let's all be good to our people now, all right? All right. Have a wonderful night. Peace out.